Hey everybody, this is Barry. I'm just trying to do the best I can. This golf cart is a 1984 club car. It's 36 volts. It has 3 sharp 80-watt solar panels and 3 PWM charge controllers. In this video, I wanted to show you something I just thought I would try to see if I could make this golf cart lighter. And instead of the 6 volt batteries for 36 volts, I put 3 12-volt golf cart batteries on here. And club cars are like the Cadillac of golf carts, and it's mostly aluminum, so it's very light. And when you take the batteries out of a club car golf cart, you can see that this is a really light cart. I'll show you what I did here. So here's the 3 PWM 12-volt controllers, like I showed you on my wife's golf cart. I made a little fairly weatherproof aluminum box to put them in. You can't really access them very well, but it works. And what I did was I took 1/2-inch treated plywood and I cut pieces to fit in the battery trays, and then I bolted them to the aluminum trays. Maybe you can see that. I guess that's like a maybe 1/8 bolts. And I took some little 1/2-inch plywood strips and screwed them down, at 4 points around the battery, so that the battery couldn't slide around on the plywood. And as you can see here, I took a jigsaw and cut a little slot on each side to accept the straps that came with these boxes. Let me show you what it looks like on the bottom here. So, let me pull these covers off. These battery boxes are, as you can see here, the reason I put these battery boxes is with these older carts with lead acid batteries, I really hate all the corrosion and the batteries leaking, and this does a pretty good job of solving that issue. And these straps do a pretty good job of holding the batteries down, but it's kind of optional. But these battery boxes, I bought these some years back, I guess pre-2019, let's say. I'm thinking they were about, I don't know, $8, $10, $12 a piece. But just a few days ago I checked, and these battery boxes are now in the neighborhood of $20 each. Okay, so I'll get into the differences in battery prices. Let's say, well, I'll tell you a little something. About 2011, I completed a big project. It was a 1993 Geo Metro that I converted to electric, and I made it 144 volts. And I used the Trojan 1275s and they're 150 amp hour, which means I had 12 of these batteries. Back then, these Trojan 12 volt golf cart batteries were around 200 bucks, and the Trojan 6 volt batteries, which I would have originally had 6 of those in here, were about $90. So roughly about $600 for the 6 volts, and roughly about the same price for just 3 of these. That wasn't really too good of a deal, but this golf cart is definitely lighter. It takes off the line quicker, and it actually charges faster. And with these 3 80-watt sharp panels, it literally is more of a solar powered car. You have like no range at night, and you have very little range even on a cloudy day. But on a sunny day like it is now, the batteries will basically stay topped off, and when you drain them down, they'll charge back up quickly. So it's closer to not just a solar charging golf cart, but an actual solar powered cart, because it's lighter, and these panels are getting sunlight. Yes, it will run back down if you drive it long enough, but the batteries charge back up quicker. And I'm sure the less weight, because there's only half as many batteries, will figure into that. But I guess if you're really well off, you wouldn't be playing with an antique, and you would have a 48 volt cart with lithium batteries, and this wouldn't be an issue. But what I found out about these batteries is Trojans have gone up quite a bit. These Trojan 12 volt T1275s are now about $300 each, and the Trojan T105 6 volt batteries, believe it or not, I believe the man said they've gone up to about $160 each. That's a lot of money. But this was a place, a local place here in northwest Louisiana, and the man told me there's another brand that they carry that he feels is just about as good a quality as Trojan, called Crown batteries. Those, for the 6 volts, you know, I believe he said those 6 volt Crown batteries, you know, deep cycle golf cart batteries, are about $149 each. So that's roughly about $900 to put 6 of those in here. Where years ago, when the Trojans were only about $90, you know, it'd be about $600. But even with the, I mean, I didn't even figure up the Trojan 6 volts now at you know, about $160. So that would be even more than $900. But this is different. The Crown battery 12 volt equivalent of this Trojan 1275 is $189, is what the man at this place told me. So that means that now the 12 volt golf cart batteries, according to the prices I found out now, you know, if you go with the Crowns, I don't know what the prices may be in other parts of the country or world, but that's roughly about $600 for 3 of those versus $900 for 6 of the 6-volt ones. That's still a lot of money for me, but $600 is cheaper than $900. So if you have a golf cart like this and you have panels and you don't do a whole lot of nighttime driving or on cloudy days, this works pretty well on a bright sunny day. And you know, if you're not just going flat out and need to drive it down the highway for 10 miles at a time, this works pretty good. This cart, I drive it around this place. You know, I may go down the driveway back and forth a few times or whatever, and it usually doesn't run out until I try to use it on a cloudy day or after dark. And if you're needing some new battery cables, what I did was I got some cables for like battery cables for a car, and this was like a starter wire, I guess. It went from the solenoid down to the starter. It was a couple of feet long. So what I did was I took and cut it in half in the middle. So on one end I have a manufactured cable lug, and on the other end I made a lug. And if you're in the middle of a project and you run out of cable lugs and you need to make some cables, this may be a cheaper way to do it, or a more convenient way. So I had some about half-inch copper tubing, and I took the insulation off maybe 3/4 of an inch there, and then I put the stranded copper wire into the end of the tubing, which I cut the tubing, I don't know, maybe about 2 inches, 2.5 inches long or so. And so I put a little electrical contact grease on the stranded wire, and then slipped the piece of copper tubing on, and then hammered it down, and then hammered the other end flat, and then drilled a hole through it. And that works pretty well. That's just another way you could come up with new cables for your cart if you run out of lugs and you happen to have some of that tubing lying around. That may be one way you can do it. As far as hooking up the battery, that's the most positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, and most negative. So when I first did this project, it wasn't too great a deal to get a lighter cart, but now with the price changes, it may actually be cheaper to go this way. But like I said, this cart definitely is faster off the line. It feels lighter. It's more fun to drive. And if you have an old cart like this, you may want to try playing around with an idea like this. But let me say here, try this at your own risk. It works pretty well for me, but it may not for some other people. I was actually thinking about getting a lift kit for this golf cart and put some 12-inch radial car tires on here. It may go 30 miles an hour if I did that. I'm trying to remember, is there anything I left out? I think that's about it. So hopefully you got something out of this, and you may like this idea. Maybe you don't have $900 for a set of batteries. There used to be a place around here where you could get reconditioned batteries that were quite a bit cheaper, but I think they went out of business. But I don't know, it may be a totally different price in your area, but I can't afford $900 for a set of batteries. It's hard to come up with 600, but that's definitely cheaper. But you may have the same issues. You know, that's a lot of money for batteries for something to play around with. But this may be an idea if you have the panels on your cart, to where you can keep it working with less batteries and less cost for batteries. Okay, well, um, hopefully I didn't leave anything out. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll try to respond. But this is nice out here. I think this would make a great little spot to camp out or have a picnic. Yeah, it's nice to get away from everything to somewhere like this, and I think I'll put that seat back on the cart and just sit here for a little while and listen to the quiet, and it'll probably help my blood pressure go down. Okay, thank you for watching.